joined now by His Excellency Abdulrahman Al-Belushi. He is the Deputy Minister of Mineral Resources Management at the Saudi Arabian Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources. Your Excellency, thank you so much for your time and congratulations on a fantastic event.
Thank you for having me, Danielle.
So let's start by talking about the event. Now, it's only been around for a few years, but already we've grown. We're looking at something like 30,000 participants this year. Can you give me your reactions to the 2026 edition and tell me what people are reacting to you?
So we really enjoy being at the Future Mineral Forum. It's becoming more of a cause rather than just a conference or an exhibition. Today, as you walk around the exhibition or walk around the halls of the Future Minerals Forum, you realize that now we're becoming experts in crowd management rather than only investment attraction or moving talk into action. It's been a pleasure to meet all these countries being represented by their ministers, talking to a whole suite of mining companies. Talk to the mid-caps, you talk to the tier 1 miners, then you talk to the exploration-focused companies, service providers, and today we have bankers, we have financiers, traders, and we got lots of lawyers as well. And so the full ecosystem of mining is convening to make sure that they put the right policies and the right objectives for the entire mineral sector, not only for Saudi Arabia, but globally.
It certainly is a big event on the world stage of mining. Can you tell me how Saudi Arabia's Economic Vision 2030 has helped to support this growth in the minerals and mining space? And are you already beginning to speak about what the framework will be post-2030? Because I'm looking around and I imagine that framework is going to be born from this annual conference.
So we've developed and approved our mining and mining industry strategy in December 2017. It was approved by His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman. And then the Ministry of Industry and Mineral Resources took on its shoulder the entire execution of that mineral strategy. It was a strategy with their targets and objectives all the way to 2030. Fast forward to 2025, a lot of these targets have already been achieved. In the Fraser Institute, the Canadian Fraser Institute, our ranking was, in terms of investment attractiveness index, we were 104 back in the day. 2024, we are the 24th jurisdiction in our mining investment competitiveness. This took a lot of transformation and a lot of efforts into availing more geological data. We've run our regional geosciences program. We've covered the entire Arabian Shield with geophysical survey, geochemical survey, with the support of our international partners. We've made the data available, and we're done with the entire phase 1 of the regional geosciences program and its data. Today we're contracting phase 2 and phase 3 of that program. We've changed and amended our mining law with the World Bank, with the Intergovernmental Forum, with ICMM support, and we made sure that it is attractive to investors. We have also accelerated permitting. We've launched our digital system to make it easier for investors to apply and get their exploration permits and mining permits as fast as possible. And we created a lot of financing and a lot of lending support to make sure these discoveries can turn into production as fast as possible.
MashaAllah, on all that you've achieved in a short space of time. I understand that exploration is a particular passion of yours personally. Something that I think is really interesting in the strategy. Of course, Saudi was in the position to handpick some of the biggest names in the world to come in, but you've completely opened for business. Really, junior players from any part of the world are eligible to take part. So what was it that made you open the doors so wide to such a diversity of people to have these opportunities?
So I'm a geologist myself. So I really admire great geologists, great capabilities that are willing to take the risk and move raw lands into potential prospective areas. And juniors, or exploration companies that they'd like to be called, they are the grassroots or the start or the seed of any successful mining jurisdiction. We see how they can and what do they want to see in any jurisdiction, and we try to make our criteria and our acceptance or qualification documents based and formed to their liking. So exploration spend in Saudi Arabia increased by 110% from 2023 to 2024. We've reached $1 billion Saudi riyal of exploration spent. This happened at a time where a global average, a global spending in exploration dropped by 3%. Our spending increased by 110% in the same time. 70% of our spending was on grassroots exploration, early stage exploration, while only 20% of total exploration spending globally by the S&P report was on grassroots exploration. So we welcome these new discoveries that you'll find, and perhaps you've heard Ma'aden announcement yesterday of the 7.8 million ounces.
Yes.
They're the first entrant into our mining sector. We're really proud of them. And we see multiple discoveries done by other players. We have Amak, we have Al-Rashid working on Jabal Kutman, and we also have that rare earth deposit that was announced by the minister 3 months back of around 644 million tons of 0.3% total rare earth oxides. So great discoveries that have been accelerated with the support of that exploration ecosystem that we built here in Saudi.
Well, speaking of that ecosystem, I understand round 9 handover of the of the tenders are being awarded, and you're also in progress of round 10 with more planned for the next couple of years. Can you speak to us a little bit about this process and how it might be going through iterations round to round?
So we've tendered now 10 rounds. They're a total of 45,000 square kilometers. To be specific, 44.7 thousand square kilometers. We've attracted and more than 200 companies. They've applied for these blocks. 59 were awarded. Their total commitment and exploration spend over the course of 2 to 3 years is 1.9 billion Saudi riyal, which is roughly $400 million. The first tender was 300 square kilometers, around 330 square kilometers. It was awarded to Moshiko Resources and Al-Ajan brothers, a match made between a Saudi investor and a great junior to mid-cap player that operated from the UK and Zambia. They had a deposit of 25 million tons of zinc at 2.11%, right? Now, fast forward 2.5 years, they have a deposit of 75 million tons of zinc at around 2.5%, with copper and manganese discoveries and deposits right next to it. They got a mining permit. They applied to the mining permit early 2025, and they got it by the end of 2025. Very quick permitting. And they're also getting a lot of support in terms of infrastructure and lending from our Saudi institutes. So this showcases that in 3 years in Saudi, our initial tender one of only 300 square kilometers, that's 1% of, less than 1% of all what we've tendered, is now is going to be developed as a mine. So hopefully the rest of it will see great successes and great discoveries.
I mean, it sounds too good to be true, but the track record is already there to show that it's real. Finally, Your Excellency, do you have a message for our viewers around the world, particularly in Australia and Canada?
Well, I would say that we have tender round 11. We have that's a lot of promising land that has been under review and analysis with some extensive work, and their data rooms are all published on our websites. We also are publishing all our tender rounds for 2026 and 2027. We have an exploration enablement program, which is a reimbursable grant for companies that are willing to share their data with us. Once they complete their exploration efforts, we give up to 25. We reimbursed up to 25% of all their exploration costs. It's capped at $2 million per exploration license. Saudi Arabia is not only a welcoming jurisdiction, but also it has a inspiring culture of hospitality, of local communities that are welcoming investors, welcoming great minds, and hopefully that will welcome beautiful tourism all over the kingdom. Really happy to have you.
We can attest to that as visitors to the kingdom, absolutely. Abdulrahman, thank you so much for your time. I know you're a busy man and it's been
No problem.
great to
Thanks a
chat.
lot.